Today I'll be talking to you on the use of referencing materials or referencing tools in academic environment. Okay, so at the end of today, my take-home message for you will be that you have a proper understanding of why we need to use referencing materials, the different types of referencing materials and styles that are available, how to avoid plagiarism, and then you should have access to where you'll be able to get information on referencing materials. Also, but before I even start, I got this from the International Baccalaureate Organization. And since I know we're talking about academics here, it's also very important we talk about academic honesty. So there's an academic honesty policy that is in place. And I think it's old. I don't know if it's been updated, but this is about in 2003. And then it's from there I picked some of this information so that when we are doing our research, we try to be as honest as possible in whatever we're putting down or whatever we are writing. So here in 1.2, it says an authentic piece of work is one that is based on the candidate's individual and original idea, which the ideas and the work of others have to fully be acknowledged. And then it says, in understanding the concept of IP, which is intellectual properties, candidate must at least be aware of the forms of intellectual and creative expressions that are protected by law. So you need to know what to do when you are dealing with IP issues, patent rights, and all those copyright issues. You need to be very firm and honest when you are dealing with all those. Apart from that, there are also issues of malpractices in the academic system. And one common one is the issue of plagiarism. Apart from plagiarism, we have collusion, duplication of work, and unfair advantage. So plagiarism comes in different forms, but most important thing is taking somebody's work and then manipulating it to be your own work. Or you collude with somebody to manipulate somebody's work and present it in the form of your work. Or somebody has done some work, maybe in a different place. All you need to do is you just take it, change some things, and then you present the work as your own work. So those are things that are not academically ethical that we should try to avoid when we are doing our research. And I want to just dwell more on a little bit of plagiarism because that's very, very important in academic environment. So it says plagiarism, and I'm going to quote from the new Webster dictionary. It says plagiarism is the unauthorized use of the language and thought of another author and the representation of them as your own. So basically is you're taking somebody's own ideas and then you just present it as your own. So even if you have somebody's idea, you need to think through on how you want to present it so that it doesn't appear to be in the form of plagiarism. So plagiarism comes in different forms, and some of them are represented here, either downloading a free research papers and then you just claim it to be your own paper, or you buy a paper from a research paper mill. Research paper mill are these kind of people that, they can write for you and you just claim that it's your own work. You can either think about faking a citation, paraphrasing or summarizing without attribution, cutting and pasting from different sources. You know, people cut from this, and then form their own. So all those are forms of plagiarism that we should try to avoid when we are doing our research or writing our article. So this brings me to the point of what we are looking at today, the use of referencing tool in academic writing. And we need to first understand what is referencing. And then here it says all ideas and work of other persons, regardless of their source, must be acknowledged. So that's what referencing is all about. Whatever source of work or whatever article or either magazine or newspaper that you have used, provided you are taking some form of information from that particular document, you must acknowledge that source properly. And then so we will be looking at how, what, style, and when in the referencing. And then here, I just want to also leave you with this motivational quote from Isaac Newton. It says, if I have seen further than others, it's basically because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. So this also presentation, I believe is also going to be very insightful, and they're going to be very, very useful for us to be able to help one another as we move. Whatever we learn here, we should also try and share, and also share with people. So basically, in academic writing, we refer to research of other people. Definitely, research is not done in isolation, and then you are not basically reinventing the wheel. Some work has been done by other people, and then you want to build on what has been done or what is existing. So you need to give proper credit to those that have done prior work. And then it's also important, it's an important part of building knowledge within your discipline. So basically, the research you are doing is basically a contribution to knowledge. You are adding something to what is existing. So you want to make sure that you reference what is there properly, and then you also make your own contribution to that particular field. And then anytime you refer to the work of another scholar, you need to put that particular reference or the source where you have gotten the information from. So the next question is, why do we need to do referencing? There are several reasons why we need to do that. And then the most important thing is to provide evidence for a claim. So if you are saying that, let me use the example of, you say graphene is a two-dimensional material. Now you need to provide that reference where we can, go and check that what you have said is true. So referencing provide evidence for a particular claim. And it also gives credit to the author whose idea you have integrated in your own work. It highlights different perspectives on a student, on a particular subject. Just like I've said, the research is not done in isolation. You have to build on existing knowledge. And then it also gives opportunity for people to be able to know the source where you have gotten your information from. And in the process of referencing, you need to either quote, paraphrase, or summarize. And we'll see some of those as we progress. Now, do you need to reference everything that you see, or everything you come across during the process of doing your research? Not necessarily. There are some things that are well known, that are common knowledge in that particular field. When you see anybody in that field, when you say this, everybody knows about that. So those kind of undisputed information in that subject, you do not necessarily have to make reference to them because they are well known. So what we're looking at today is, how do you manage the references and the citations that you will be using? So let's assume that in the process of doing your literature review, you found very interesting articles that you feel will be very, very useful for you. The question is, what do you do with them? Do you have a scattered, you just scatter all the PDF on your desktop like this? So imagine if you have up to like 100 PDF, all of them will be arranged like this on your computer, or do you have it in a folder, or do you save them in a USB disk or in a computer, or what do you do with them, or do you just copy and paste as you are getting this information? So that is what we are trying to look at right now. And then basically there are a lot of ways to do that, and that is reference management system. So with a reference management system, you're able to create a database of all the papers that you are interested in using for your work. You are able to keep consistent record. You're able to organize your research. And then with reference management system or tool, you're able to choose various referencing styles, because a lot of styles are there. You can change references easily. You don't need to start to type references manually at the end. Imagine you are writing a thesis and you have consulted about 100 or 200 papers, and then now you have to list those references at the end of your thesis, and you're doing it manually. That's really very cumbersome. You are prone to make errors, and even citing this in the references, the numbers may be different. So there may be human errors that are that may occur. So with the help of a reference management system, you are able to deal with all these human errors that may be there. So basically, the reference or the management system has something like this flow chart that is here. You can have manual input, or you can directly export or filter, or can connect directly to the internet and search for what you are looking for, and then you put it in the management database that you have decided to use, and then you have very nice output, which is the different referencing styles that can be there: MLA, APA, Vancouver, Chicago, as the case may be. And then at the end of the day, you have very nice article, thesis, or assignment, or books, as the case may be, that are well and properly referenced. So this is just like a flow chart of what the management system look like. But most importantly, you need to know that there are a lot of management systems that are there. So I will maybe I'll share this slide at the end of the day. But if you click on this Wikipedia, this is from Wikipedia here, you will see that there are about, or even more than 35 software programs that can be used for referencing. So some of them are free, some of them are paid for. You need to decide on what is available for you, and then you use this for your work. You can also go to this MIT library here. You also have access to many of them that are listed. Now, here I've just listed some of them. EndNote is very, very common, and it's very compatible with a lot of systems, but it's not free. You need to pay for that, and it's about $300. But I know these are institutional licenses, it's institutions that pay for many of these. So through the institution website, or maybe your username and password, you're able to have access to that depending on the institution that you are. Mendeley is there. Mendeley is free and is one of the most widely used. It's free, and then it gives you up to like 2 gig of storage systems, both cloud storage, and then it's compatible with all systems that are available. There's RefMe, RefWorks, Sciref, Zotero, and many more. These are just to list a few. But today I'll be focusing more on number 2, because I feel that is freely available. Anybody can easily download and install and implement it in his or her research. So I've used Mendeley a lot, and that's why I feel I should do that. I've used EndNotes sometimes before, but not as Mendeley, because Mendeley is free, so it's easy to get access to. Now, the thing is, how do you reference? So we have seen the reason why we need to reference, but the thing is, how do you do this referencing? So, and the main essence, or the most important thing for these references, is you need to take into account this transparency. Because when you do this, you want people to look at it and then go and check the source where you have taken your information, to be sure whether the information you are reporting is correct or wrong. So you need to be transparent as much as possible during this, when you are carrying out your research. And what's you give us, or the information we get from your referencing, is who is the author of the work, what is the person talking about, where did he and when did he actually talk about this work. So when you see a particular reference, it gives you all these 4 information here. So these are the 4 information that people and look at. Now, in the course of doing research, when you want to reference, you need to either do a direct quote maybe what the person has quoted in the paper directly, and you reference it, or you need to do some kind of statistics or study. If it's a theory, you can quote the theory directly, facts, interpretation, paraphrases. So you need to carry out some of these things when you are doing referencing. And there are many referencing styles that I've said. Here I just listed some of them, but I think the common one is the APA, American Psychological Association. But there are people use different style depending on the subject that they're dealing with, or the intended outcome at the end. So there's MLA, APA, there's Vancouver, and all these styles that have their own referencing style, as the case may be. Now, when you want to reference, there are two methods or two styles of registry. Here, it says referencing style can generally be grouped into two groups. The in-text style and the footnote style, depending on the journal that you are looking for. So when we look at the in-text, it says when using an in-text style, you include part of the reference in the text that you are dealing with. So here is an example here. It says, Hall notes that genetic disorder can be effectively studied by following 20 to 30 affected individuals over the course of their study. And then he put Hall to 2017. So this is in texting. So the reference is within the text, and then you can continue to write the text. And then at the end of the whole document, you now list the references. Now, these two actually give us information, two different information. So the first, the one that is listed where we have Hall JG 2017, that gives us the information of who, that is the author, when, the year 2017, and what the author or the article is talking about. That is the title of the author and of the article, and then where. That is, it gives you information about the volume, the issue number, the journal, and all those are other information. So this is very, very important. In most journals, you must provide all these three information. And that's why it's good to publish in proper journals. You don't publish in predatory journals because they may not even have some of this information. Now, when you are using the footnote style, you use superscript, just like in this one. So you see at the end of this sentence here, this 1970 here, we have this 8 here. This superscript here is the referencing. But this particular one is the footnote style. Now, what you need to know is different journals have different style. The most common one that I use is the reference is in a square bracket, which is very, very common for most Elsevier journals. For Nature Journal, Royal Society journals, most of them, they use this footnote style, which you have this superscript, and then at the end of the journal, you list the references. I think many of them will be in the numbers will follow themselves as you list them down. But if it is I think the APA, I think it arranged in alphabetical order, depending on the journal. If it's biological journal, they prefer to use alphabetical order. Now, so the footnote style also gives us this information of who, what, where. So you can see when it's actually the year here, and then where, that is the journal where you publish the work. So if you want to use the footnote style, depending on what type of system you have, you can add a footnotes in Microsoft Word. I believe many of us know how to use Microsoft. So you just go to insert footnotes where we have headers and footers. You can put insert, and then you can put your bibliographic. Now, some journals, especially for the footers, you have the references maybe on each page as you go, provided it's a footer, and then you still have it at the end of the journal as the case may be. Now, which style should I use? Now, you need to know the subject you are dealing with, which is your intended journal at the end of the day, and then find out the style that is acceptable for that particular journal. I know most biological journals have a particular style that they use, but some journals are open. You can use any style that you want, but just be consistent. Don't switch between styles. So, for example, in my university here now, we have a particular style, and most times I just direct the students to go to the library. When they meet the librarian gives them the information on the particular style that they need to use. But some students also decide to use a particular style, but they are just consistent with that. So depending on where you are on your school, your department will give you guidance on what referencing style they expect you to use, either in the handbook or you find it in the university library or on the university website. And then, just as I've said, some departments allow you to use different style, and then you can choose from the list of references that I've showed you earlier. Now, this reference management system that we are talking about, they actually helps us to organize our referencing so that it's very easy for us to handle. And I've said that there are many of them, but today I am going to just be working with or showing you how to use our Mendeley. EndNote is good. They all do the same work, but for purpose of today, we'll be dealing with Mendeley. It's based in London, and these are some of the developers and people that actually supports its development. Now, just as I've said, Mendeley. So right now we're focusing more on Mendeley alone. It's a reference manager that allows you to manage, read, share, annotate, and cite your research properly. And then one most important thing is it works on all operating system, whether you are using iOS, Windows, and any other system that you know. Most importantly, it is free and then works on all these platforms. So you can have one other good thing about it is you can have it on your desktop in your office. It's synchronized with your web account. You can use it on your phone, on your tablet, anywhere you are. You have access to your information. So it's able to sync across all your devices and accounts that you have. So basically, it gives the opportunity for productivity. It's a reference manager that has more than 4 million users. I think that 4 million is even conservative. I think that was a long time ago. And then the numbers must have increased by now. It enables research network. And then I will show you how you create networks within within your account. And then it's also able, allows you to link to other reference managers. Now, these are just some of the features of the Mendeley. It's quick and easy to install. Most importantly, there's a Word plugin that needs to be installed to your Word so that you'll be able to use it on your Word document. There are more than 1,000 journal styles. So let's say you have written a paper and you want to say, I want to submit this paper to Journal of Energy Storage. Just go there, choose Journal of Energy Storage, and then your references will automatically arrange itself according to the guide of the Journal of Energy Storage. This helps you to create bibliography instantly. You can format easily. You can annotate, highlight, and has a whole lot of interesting features. Now, the most important thing is for you, in Mendeley, you need to create your database, which is your library, and then you capture citations that you want from anywhere, and then you can directly save into the Mendeley. You can build network with other researchers, collaborate, share discovery, and many other informations that are listed. Now, I want to take you through the reference manager itself, which is Mendeley. And this is basically if you type Mendeley in Google and then you go to the website, this is how the interface looks like. The most important thing, first, you need to create an account. So you need to create an account, put in your username, password, whatever that you want to use. And then after creating an online account, then you need to download Mendeley and then install. Now you will see there's Mendeley for Mac, there is for Windows. You choose the one that is suitable and applicable for your own system, and then you install. After installation, then you can have access to your account, and then you begin to build your library. So this image here just basically shows us the Mendeley library that we have is divided into like 3 panels, one here in the middle and here. So this is your activity plan, activity panel here, where you can play around with the system. But here mostly, this is where you create folder. You can see create folders here. So if you are dealing with a particular topic, you can create a topic, create a folder here, give it the name that you want, and all papers that are related to that particular topic, you will be saving them inside. So if I log in into my own Mendeley, maybe I'll do later before we end today, you'll see I have a lot of folders. And then in these folders, I have papers for different research that I've done before. And then here, if I click on all, I can have access to all at once. So here, this is where you play around. This middle is actually the documents that are, you see here, it says all documents. And if you look at the top here, you can see all documents. These are all what is listed in this particular person's folder. And then if you click on this particular one here, that is highlighted in the middle, it opens here. You can see the abstract. If it's, you can quickly read the abstract if it's the particular paper that you are looking for. If not, you click on the next one and then you move ahead. So this is just what I've just explained. That is the activity plan. This is the name. And then this. Now, how do you bring in papers into your, or how do you build your library? You can have your papers in a particular folder. Let's say you have a folder where you have been saving all your papers before. You can just drag all those papers and drop it inside here, just like this. Just drag and drop all the papers, it drags and drop. Or you can use the file option, and then, so you can add, go to file, add option, add, and then you go to that folder, add the entire files that are in the folder. You can add the entire folder. You can click on the entire folder and bring it here, and then it manually rearrange it accordingly as it should be. You can watch a particular folder if you're interested, and then that particular folder can be on your desktop. When you add papers on that, there's a way it adds to your Mendeley. You can import directly from other reference managers like EndNote, Zotero, and then you import directly using BibTeX or RIS, and then it gives you your information, it builds your library for you. You can also use the web importer, and then that is, if I see a paper on Google, rather than for me downloading that paper with my importer, I just take it directly to my Mendeley without downloading the paper, and then it goes and downloads in my Mendeley if I want at the end of the day. And then, so this is just the one that says you can download from all other reference manager and bring them into Mendeley directly. So there is this icon you can have on your like your bookmark. You can say save to Mendeley. So if you see any article that you need, you can just click on save to Mendeley, and then it goes to your Mendeley directly. If you have access to the PDF, it's going to download the PDF in your Mendeley. You can search papers in the Mendeley using your the DOI of the paper, and then it gives you. So the thing is, depending on how you have been saving your papers, sometimes we just save papers, we just download and save in a particular folder. It may be missing some information like the year, the volume, and all this. Mendeley helps you to fill in the missing information such that when you reference it at the end of the day, all the information of who, when, what, and when is properly captured. So this is the web importer. So how does the web importer work? So there's this save to Mendeley. All you need to do is just carry it and take it to this your bookmark panel that is on your computer. So you just drag it, take it there, and then you search your Google Scholar or any other browser that you have. Once you find an article that you are looking for, just click on save to Mendeley. So for example, here now, look at this paper. I think he just searched Mendeley in Google Scholar, and then he gave him all this information. Now, when you click on that save to Mendeley, it gives you this option. Now, you can select the one you want, or you can just say save all of them, and then you save all these 10 articles that is there. And then one other thing you need to know is Mendeley is already linked to Scopus and Science Direct. So you can also import directly to Mendeley if you are either working in Scopus or Science Direct. You see this import here. Just import, you choose whether it's RIS text or deep text that you want, and then when you click save, it just exports directly to your Mendeley. And then you know that when you need to cite the papers, you have access to those information. So basically, it also helps you to organize your library, and then you can arrange your library according to how you want it. So you can create folders. You see that I showed you earlier. You can create folders, name the folders accordingly, as you want, and then you can actually mark these papers as read or unread by clicking on this green button that I say if you are ready, you can leave it on green. If you click on it to change the color to show that you need to read it later. You can put your favorite papers that you have. You can put this star here to show that, okay, I like this paper. When I'm writing my thesis, I need to make reference to it, or when I'm writing my paper, I need to make reference to this. You can have the PDF file in the integrated file. So you see, if you look at this one, there's a PDF. If you look at this one, there's no PDF. It means that this one, the PDF is saved in Mendeley. This one, is in an open access. No, this one, you only have access to the abstract that is only saved. So remember, sometimes depending on the university where we find ourselves, we don't have access to all the journals. But with this reference manager, even if you don't have access to the journal, you can get access to the abstract, and then you're able to use it to cite the paper properly. And then you can also have the PDF as here. And when you click on this, it will open, and then you can work on it directly. So this is the one that I've said before. It synchronizes all your devices and accounts together at any point in time. So let's say you left your computer at home. When you get to the office, you have a desktop. Log in into your Mendeley account in the office, and you have access to all your Mendeley papers, and then you can easily continue your work. So not necessarily that you must work on your computer, personal computer, to get access to information. It also has a search option. You can search anything that you're looking for. You can also filter by authors. You can tag the system, tag it so that whenever you need it, you can easily have access to it. And then you have the papers listed in this order. It's also have this additional function of file organizers, able to help you manage your files like this. You can arrange it well alphabetically according to the title, or you can arrange according to the authors, such that when you go to that folder, you get access to the information that you are looking for. So it's actually a very powerful tools that help you in the organization of your research work. Now, it's also, you can also read directly. So if you say this particular paper, any paper that is here now, if you just double click on it, it's going to open in this manner. And then when it opens, you're able to read directly on the Mendeley, rather than for you to go and download the paper first, read it before you come to your Mendeley. You can read it directly, make notes. There's this highlighter that is here. You can use it to highlight any important information that you feel, and then save it, so that when you come back, when you're writing, you know that particular information that you're going to pick, that you're going to paraphrase, and then either quote directly as it should be. So you can highlight what information that you are looking for. So now the thing is, how do you use Mendeley to cite references in your work? The most important thing is you should have the Mendeley plugin. This is the MS plugin. So after installing Mendeley on your computer, you need to go to tools. Under tools here, you need to install web importer. The web importer is the one that allows you to be able to save directly to your Mendeley from the web. The MS plugin is the one that allows you to put the references on your Word document. If you are using the LibreOffice, you need to use the LibreOffice plugin that is here. Mendeley also has this powerful tool that allows you to check for duplicates. Because if you have duplicates, if you have saved a paper multiple times in your database, you may have conflicting referencing when you come to cite those references. Now, once you have installed the MS Word plugin in Mendeley, you will see, so this is how our Word document is. Under references, you will see this Word file here that has this red Mendeley symbol. Once you have this symbol here, it shows that you have actually installed it and it's integrated with your Word document, and then it can work perfectly. So once you have this, you are good to go. And then, so let's assume that you are writing and you need to cite a particular paper. Now you just click Insert Citation. Now, when you click Insert Citation, so it brings you this panel where you put in the title of the paper or the author name. And then if it is in the library already, it brings out the paper directly. Or you can just click Go to Mendeley, it goes to the library. And then from the library, you just pick the referencing that you are looking for directly. So you see, when you go to the library, you see it lists all the papers that are here. And then you just click and select the one that you want. And once you do that, where is it? Okay, I think it's just like showing the process that you go to your Mendeley. If you go to the Mendeley, you can now choose the paper one. And when you click on the paper, it now shows at Carol 2011. Now remember that sometimes you want to cite 2 or 3 references in one particular location. So all you need to do is go back to your Mendeley, select another one, and then it's going to list all of them that you have selected in here, and then it's going to number them accordingly. So if you remove anyone, the number automatically updates by itself. So you don't need to be doing referencing manually. It does everything automatically for you. You can also play around with the number, page numbers, but this is not really very, very important. The most important thing is for it to bring in the referencing for you. Now, look at here. Now, it has brought in 2 references for me. It brought Carol 2011 and brought Nareni and Fernandez 2012. But I don't like this reference. I want them to be together. So there's a way I can merge citation. Look at, I say merge citation here now. I just click, if I click on merge citation, it's going to merge them into one. You can see that the Carol is in a different bracket. This is in a, so if you have many of them, that means all of them will be in different brackets, which is not going to be good for your citation, but you can merge them. So if I just click merge citation, it's just going to merge all of them and put them in one particular bracket. If you are using numbers, it's going to put the numbers and then do it nicely for you. And now when you finish all the references that you are doing, imagine that you have finished writing your paper, you have inserted everything you want to do the referencing at the end of the day. When you finish, go to the last page of your paper where you write references, put the references, and all you need to do is insert bibliography. Insert bibliography. The moment you click on insert bibliography, it's going to list all the references that you have used automatically like this, to list all of them. Now, depending on the journal that you want to submit, you can choose any journal style that is here. You see here, we have style. This person now has chosen American Psychological Association 6th edition. If I am an engineer, electrical engineer, I will just choose IEEE. It will just give me the formatting for IEEE. That is the paper that I want to submit. So if the style that you want is not here, you can go to click more styles. There's more styles here. And when you click on more style, you can go and search for more style. Mendeley has more than 1,000 journal styles in a database. So you just need to know exactly the one you are looking for. And once you select that, you just click done. So this brings me to my concluding slide that I have before I go to my Mendeley and actually show you a demo or a practical session. But it says that with the advance of information technologies, researchers have a lot of information at their abundance. So you need to be able to manipulate, collect, store, and arrange this in a matter that is timely for you to use. That is not when I need an information that you start saying, where did I save this paper? But you are able to organize your work properly. It also helps us to download from internet directly online, and then you save directly to the your database or your library, and then it's able to help us manage to insert and do our referencing properly. So this is my concluding slide for now, but I want to also stop sharing this slide. Then I will share my Mendeley so that I will show people how to truly do that.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Abakim. We have like 3 minutes to conclude, so that
3 minutes to do that. So that's fine. I can quickly, I can quickly do that. So let me stop sharing. Let me exit full screen.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm sharing my. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Hello. Okay.
So basically, we can see it on the phone.
Okay, so this is my own Mendeley. You can see that here, this is those panels that I showed you. So you see here, I have created a lot of files depending on the particular topic that I'm working on. So I have a lot of papers that are listed in this folder. And now, even if I'm working on something new, if I need to create a new account, just click create a new account, and then I'll just give it whatever title I want. I can just type whatever I want and then save. And then you see the folder here is empty. Then I begin to bring in all my papers. But also I can click on all here. If I click on all, it gives me all the papers that I have in all the folders. They're all listed here. You can see here all these papers are having green. It shows that they have been read. Some of them have this PDF logo here, which means I have the PDF. Some don't have, means I don't have access to that. And if I click on this foundation for the future, you see that it shows here. And then you can see here, it shows me the details need reviewing. That means some information are missing, but I can, if I feel all the information here are correct, I look at it, I can just say details are correct. If it's not correct, I go to search, and then I go and get the proper information, and then it's updated. So from here, if I go to any of my Word documents, okay. So I just want to share Word documents. So I have, I'll just open any Word document for now. So I have this Word document that I was just working on, this physics question for my students. But you see under references here, you can see under references, you can see this insert citation here. You can see the Mendeley symbol is there. That means I've linked my Mendeley to my Word document. So let's say I want to insert citation in this question 1 here. I'll just say insert citation. And then if I know the title of what I'm looking for, maybe I just type the rise of graphene. You see, as I'm typing, it's giving me, but let me just use any paper, and then it inserts. So it means, okay, still searching. Okay, so it give me the reference here. Here it's giving me American Psychological. I don't want that. If I want Journal of Energy Storage, so the Journal of Energy Storage uses this, and then I can come back here in this one. You see when I'm here, you see this is insert citation, but the moment I go inside here, it becomes edit citation, and then I can add another paper. Supercapacitor. So I'm just doing some things randomly. So you see, I've added, you see this one, because I went inside it, put 1,2, and then let me add one more, because we don't have a lot of time, carbon. So let me just add this one. Let me just say, okay. So let's assume I have added these 3 papers, and then I finished typing. At the end of the day, I come down to my work. I put my last page references. When I put references, I just click, you see here, insert citation. Once I click insert citation, it's going to bring out all this. You can see, it just gives me all the references. Everything is there. Let's now assume that I say, I don't like this number 2 that is here. Maybe it's a mistake. You just go back here, edit citation. Just come here. This number 2 is the one of 2016. Just edit it. So let me delete it. Okay, sorry, I've even deleted 2 of them, but let's say it's fine. You just say, okay. So you see, automatically it will update, and then it will give me all of that. So this is just a typical example of how. So with this, you cannot do mistake. Your number 1 in the text will always be your number 1 in the final referencing list that you have inserted. So this is a very good referencing tool. So if you see, let's assume that the style I want is not that, I just go to more style. When I click on more style, it gives me the opportunity to look for more. And then if it's the Vancouver one or the Nature, just select the one you want, update, and then you'll be able to use it. So at this point, I'm going to stop here so that we can have some time for question and answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bilo. I really appreciate the lecture and all the information and all the steps. And like I put in the chat box, in case you need to re-access this video, maybe you are not able to follow some of the steps, the video will be on YouTube. The link is on the chat box. So in case you need to go over how to use Mendeley, the steps to follow, you want to be checking it one step after the other, you can go on YouTube and follow it in order to set up your Mendeley. I would also want to mention, in case maybe you would like to use another reference manager, and I think basically all the other have similar steps. Of course, it's a different interface and everything, but the steps are almost the same thing.
Yeah, they're the same.
If your school probably has notes, maybe that's what you're using. As a student, you have access to them. You would be able to like navigate through the software yourself. Then with that, we would like to go to question and answer. If you have question, you can put in the chat box or you can signify, and we are only taking 3 questions at a time. And I would like to take one of the questions.
Okay, wait, before you take the question, I noticed there are some questions already in the chat.
Yes, there's one. I saw it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've seen that one. So let me just add mine also. I remembered when you started, you mentioned that you can use the reference manager for networking with, I don't know, other researchers or collaboration. And I don't know whether you mentioned, you explained how to go about that. I didn't hear.
Okay, I think, okay, no problem. I will answer that.
Yeah, that's my question. And the question on the chat box also said,
okay, so basically what I meant when I said downloading a free research, sometimes you will notice that if you go online, you will find documents that are not attributed to anybody, but the information is basically what you are looking for. And then if you download those kind of things and you claim it to be your work, then that's complete plagiarism. That's basically what I meant by downloading a free research. There are some people that have written some things, their names are not there, nothing is there, but you now, you just carry it and use it. That's basically what I meant when I say free research. Secondly, with regards to the question you asked, I think I skipped that, but let me quickly share my slide again. If I can show you if it's there, or maybe okay, I'm trying to share my slide so that I will see if I have it in the Mendeley. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So there is an icon there in the Mendeley where it says people. And then when you click on there, on the people, you can search for a particular author or anybody that you are looking for. And then you can connect with that person automatically via Mendeley. And then from there, you can create a community of 2 or 3 people that are working in that particular field. Okay, you can see in this place, you can see groups, you can see people. So you can actually click on there in that and then search for people that are maybe working in your field, or maybe even a research group that is working in whatever you are dealing with. You can reach them through Mendeley. And if they are open or willing to work with you, you can create a network from there and you take it up from there. So this is basically what I wanted to talk about. I think it skipped my mind then.
All right, thank you. Is there any other question? Before we call it again. Any question? Okay. I don't think there's any other question in the chat box. So with that, I would like once again to say Jazakumullah khairan to Dr. Akim.
Yeah, I can turn on my video so that at least you see how I look like.
Okay, there's a question. No, sure.
Okay.
I was trying to type, but I noticed you wanted to end the program, so I had to speak.
Okay.
My question is as regards a little bit with reference to the previous question you answered.
Yes. We can't hear you.
No, sure, we can't hear you. You can type your question if you want to, in case the network is bad and can't speak. No, sure, type your question. I can't hear you. Let's hope she's typing a question. So Jazakumullah khairan, Dr. Bello, for this lecture. And I'd just like to mention again that this is organized by Muslims in Research and Academics, and we have monthly discussion where we talk about various topics that are useful for young researchers, students, academics, and we hope it would be useful to everyone, and we can pick 1 or 2 things that would help in our academic pursuit. We still can't hear from Nosra. I don't think she's online.
Yeah, I don't think she's online. Anyway, when she sends the question, you can always reach me. I will try and provide answer or something. So I just want to say a few words also. Thank you very much for the invitation. And these things are good. It's good we remind ourselves some of these things. because many of us know these things. Many of us have been doing research. Some of us are just coming into it. So it's also good we have this kind of presentations. People will pick one or two things, or even if you have forgotten some things, you remind yourself of some of these things. So I think it's a welcome development, and you should try to keep it up and sustain it.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you to everyone who attended despite the election theme that we are all interested in and looking forward to. I would like to appreciate everyone for giving us this time and to listen to Dr. Bello's lecture today. And with that, we come to the end of this month's discussion. Nusra is back. Maybe we should take a question.
Okay.
She's just joining, so. Okay, Nusra, you can quickly ask your question. You're on mute now, so you have to unmute yourself to ask your question. So
I don't know if my question was clear before I went off.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Okay. So my question was that, say I downloaded a free paper online. I need to use a few statements from the author's work, and in my own work, I need to reference it, right? Do I need to paraphrase those statements before using it, or can I use their words word for word and then still reference it in my work?
So you cannot use it word for word. You need to paraphrase it in your own language to reflect the meaning of what they are saying. Yeah. So
I need a clarification on that, because I attended a session training, and one of the instructors was saying you can use their statement word for word since you are referencing it. So I was not clear about that, and I had doubts about.
So remember that when I started, I showed some places. Okay, when you are quoting, if you are quoting them, when you put it in quotation, that one you can quote them verbally, just like the way they have said it, and then you reference them because that's a quotation. But if it's a research that they have done and made a conclusion that X, Y, and Z, when you want to do that, you cannot write it the way they have written it. You have to put it in your own language, that so and so person have done this research and they concluded that, so you need to just put it in your word. Because remember, many of these journals use plagiarism software. So if it is, you write it word for word, the way they have written it, if they subject it to turn it in with search and match and bring you the exact thing that you have written, and then they will consider it plagiarism, especially if most of these journals, their plagiarism level is about 20%. So everything sums up to be more than 20%, they'll just reject your paper and tell you plagiarism. So maybe as we progress, we will have a time, we'll find another session to look at paraphrasing and the way we do paraphrasing. And actually I had it here today, but when I looked at it, the slides were too long, so I had to take out some things. But maybe we'll find time to look at that on another day or in another month.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So come to the end of today's discussion. Thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Hello. Hi.
What happened?
Yeah, I just want to confirm, is it possible to have on the slide of our lecturer?
I was asking.
Okay, just call out current.